In this video, I'm going to be going over the 20 best modded creatures currently in Ark Survival Ascended. First on the list is the Diamondosaurus. This one is a giant sauropod, and this one is really unique, and it's got some pretty cool abilities. First, you can find it in the wild, and it actually sleeps when you find it, and you have to tame it. I believe passively tame it while it's sleeping, and once you do tame it, it has a giant platform saddle. But you can also add on to this platform saddle, as you can see here. There's a bunch of different things like storage boxes and barrels you can add to the side of it, which will actually decrease the weight of things in there. It makes medical brews over time as well, which is pretty cool. But this one's great for hauling a ton of resources, and it's just a really dope creature overall. And here's the mod page if you do want to get it. But the next creature we have is the Civatherium. This one is a really unique creature and is really well made as well. It's basically like a giraffe type thing, but not exactly, because it doesn't really have as long as a neck as a giraffe would. But it's got like these antlers on the top too. I don't even think you can call them antlers. I'm not really sure what they're called. But it's just a really unique looking creature overall, and it's got some pretty cool abilities, as you can use it basically like thermal vision to go find creatures out in the wild, which is pretty cool, and it runs pretty fast as well. You can also kind of like lay down like this and get off of it, which I think is cool, so you don't have to like take fall damage when you fall off like other creatures would, which is a pretty nice touch. This creature has a lot of abilities, but I don't have time to go over all of them in the video, so we're just going to move on. There's the mod page if you want to find it. But number 3 is the Tylosaurus. This is one of the best underwater creature mods in my opinion. This creature just has so much for it. The animations are really great, and there's just so many abilities. I really can't go over all of them in the video, but basically it has like different venoms you can choose. There's like a whole like thing where you can see all the different button mashes and stuff you can do to do all the abilities, because there's just like so many abilities that this thing has, as well as its saddle lets you breathe underwater too, which is pretty nice. And then there's the mod page for it. Number 4 is the Dinotheum. I will be including the Arc Editions mod because I feel like it would not be fair if they weren't in here, even though they are going to be implemented into the base game. I'm not including the 2 creatures that are going to be added like next week or so, because they're going to be added like next week, so no point really having them in the video. But I will be including the other Arc Editions because it's going to be a while before they come into the base game, so I thought I'd show them off as mods. And the first one is the Dinotheum. This one's a really dope creature. It's like a giant elephant. You can see the size comparison compared to like a normal mammoth or paracer. This thing is absolutely huge, and it's just such a dope creature. Definitely worth adding. And the next creature is the jumping spider. I know a lot of people have been talking about this mod, so I thought I would include it for that, even though it's not really my type of mod, but I still think it is pretty well done as well. It has like this gigantic jump it can do, as well as you can like climb up walls, and I think the climbing animation is really well made. But it's just like a giant furry spider, and this one was in a lot of the creature votes, which I believe is why it was made, because it just got so many votes. So I know a lot of people definitely like this one, so I thought I'd include it for those people. Number 6 is the Dino Sutris. This is the giant alligator from the Arc Editions mod, and it's a pretty dope one. It's absolutely massive, and it has this ability called the Gigabyte, where it basically like charges up a giant bite and then lets it down and does a ton of damage. And it's got a tail swipe ability as well, and it's a pretty dope creature overall. The next creature is the Yokaria. I don't know if I said that right at all, but it's basically like a mid-sized theropod, maybe around the size of an Aloe or a Carno. And it's got some pretty cool abilities. It's got like this headbutt where it like basically does a ton of knockback damage, as well as the bite and the roar. But you can also put armor on it, like this leather looking armor, and it's really cool. It's got like the foot armor as well as the back and the head, and you can cover the entire thing. And it's really unique. We haven't really seen anything like that in these mods before. Number 8 is the Carnotaurus TLC. This is a mod that basically like revamps the Carchard. I've definitely seen a lot of people talking about this one, so I definitely thought it was worth including. It has a new running animation, as well as it's got some like different attack, or it's got pretty similar attacks. It does have a new roar, which looks absolutely sick, as you can see right here, where it kind of like goes or moves its mouth a lot more. And this roar looks really sick. I definitely do like it. There's also 2 versions of this mod. One is like the smaller Carchar, and then one is the regular size one. Number 9 is the Helicoprion from the Arc Editions mod. It's basically a shark with a giant saw blade, and it's really sick. It also has the ability to turn items into blueprints with a chance of destroying the item, which is pretty cool. It has like a tail swipe as well. And at number 10 we have the Godzilla Arc mod. This was a very popular mod in Ark Survival Evolved, and the creators actually made a TLC for Ark Survival Ascended. And it's pretty cool looking. As you can see, it's absolutely massive, around the size of a Titanosaur, which is kind of crazy to see, but this of course is a Godzilla, so it'd be pretty big. It's got the atomic breath, so you can pretty much destroy anything in front of you and demolish it pretty quickly. This one's a pretty cool one, definitely worth checking out. Next creature is the Shannongsaurus. This is one I definitely think is one I wanted in the game, just because it's kind of unique. We don't have like a herbivore that's like this big, that's not like a sauropod or anything. But it is quite cool to find it around, and you can tame it, all that. I just think it's a pretty interesting and cool dinosaur to have, and it's kind of unique compared to everything else, so that's why it's on here. And then number 12 is the Brachiosaurus. This is part of the Arc Editions mod, so it will be coming eventually, but it's going to be quite a while, so I still thought I'd put it in here, of course, because it's going to be a while since before it comes. It's got some pretty cool abilities, though, like being able to do a giant stomp that can basically kill everything in its path. It can harvest tons of resources, because you can like swap between combat and harvesting mode, and it's definitely a pretty cool creature. Number 13 is the Moro Rex, but it is just an Indominus Rex. It's got some pretty interesting colors, though. It's not just the white ones, even though I think you probably could get it in white. But this one's got all the abilities you'd expect. It can go in invisible, but it's also got a ton of different abilities. I can't really go over all of them, but it's got like a swipe it can do. It's got a roar that can actually fear roar stuff. I noticed it even fears roar to Bronto, but it doesn't do it all the way. It's to do multiple roars, and it's bigger than a Rex, so this one's quite large. And then after that is part of the same mod, so this mod includes 2 creatures, and the other one's the Moro Raptor, which is just the Indoraptor. It has this interesting animation when it comes out of the egg too. I believe the Indominus Rex has one as well. This one has so many abilities. It has like 2 different stances, and each stance has its own set of abilities and animation for all those abilities as well. One of them being thermal vision, or you can like put it to sleep or resting mode, where it will kind of just give them some healing. There's just so much it can do, and there's not enough time to talk about all of it in the video, but it's definitely worth checking out. Number 15 is the Aralon. This is another Arc Editions creature, and it's quite cool, and it's a gigantic sea turtle you can find. It basically has resistance to jellyfish, which means it can harvest them for biotoxin, and it gets a buff from killing them as well. It can also swim on the land, which is pretty cool. Or not swim on the land, walk on the land, so that doesn't really make much sense. But I do like this creature quite a lot. I definitely think it's quite a unique one. At number 16, we have the Rexis. It's a really well done model. It's got like a really cool roar and a bite attack as well. It's got a really nice saddle as well. There's a lot, and there's the mod page as well if you do want to check this one out. Just another really cool sauropod. I think this one's around the size of like an aloe, so it's pretty decently sized. And then this next one is the Monolophosaurus. It's kind of like a raptor-sized creature, I would say, or a little bit bigger, maybe even longer. And this one's actually pretty cool. It just has like all the normal attacks you'd expect. It can jump, attack, but then it has a like shield on the front of it that you could put on there to protect yourself from, imagine, like fire coming in. And then you can also put a blade on the front of that little like lip or whatever you'd call it in its face, which I imagine will just do more damage and a bleed attack, which is super dope. And at number 18 is the Acrocanthosaurus. You can't have one of these best creatures modded lists without the Acro, because it is one of the coolest creatures. It's basically like a bit bigger than a Rex, but in between a Rex and a Giga, it can like go into the shield stance mode where it can take a bunch of damage, and then it has an adrenaline mode where when it takes too much damage, it'll just go into this adrenaline mode, do a really cool roar, and it does a bunch of damage. This is a really sick creature, and of course the model is fantastically done. Another one part of the Arc Editions mod. And the next creature is part of the Paleo Arc mod. These next 2 creatures I'm going over are currently only on PC. All the other ones are cross-platform, but these ones are PC. The Evo Giga will be coming soon, and then the other one's a premium mod, which premium mods will also be coming soon to consoles, so it's not going to be too long before console players will play with these ones. But for now, these ones are on PC. And starting with the Evo Giga, this one is dope. It's part of the Paleo Arc mod, and it's basically just a full-on like revamp of the Giga in current Arc, and the model looks insanely good. It's absolutely amazing. That's it compared to the just regular Giga, and it's got some more abilities as well. It basically does more damage the more you use it. I believe it's similar to a Karchar like that, so you can just do more damage the more attacks you do. It's got a really cool roar. It's got like a tail swipe, but depending on what direction you look in. It also has the ability to go in like this crouch stance mode, so you can actually go take this into the Overseer arena. You can also take the Evo Giga into boss fights, except for you can only have like 2 of them, or else they'll like start freaking out and turn on you. So you can bring 2 of them, which I think is interesting, being able to bring Gigas, but you can only bring 2. Definitely a nice balance. But the next creature is a premium mod, and will be coming to console soon. I know they're planning on adding premium mods pretty soon. And it is the Analmosaurus from the Arc Editions mod. This one is not coming to official, unlike all the other Arc Editions ones, but it is a really cool underwater creature. It's quite quick, and it has the ability to go invisible and turn into an Ichthyosaurus, and it basically just like disguises itself as that. It has like 3 different like options of like attacks you can add to it, and each one has like its own. It's basically like kind of like a tree of like different abilities and stuff that you can upgrade, which I think is quite interesting. But that is 20 of the best modded creatures. Now that's probably not all of them. I know there's probably some more out there. These are ones I found. that I thought were really cool. I definitely think were worth showing off. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.